Sixes. All right. Fire 2.4 here. We are playing a lot of hands, y'all. On fuego. Getting some cards, yo. I mean, it's like an okay sixes. You're like, ah, it's not like you're super excited. You don't want anybody to re-raise you, that's for sure. But you'd like to flop a six and get it in. Let's go. Burrito Santorini. Santoni. Burrito Santoni. Burrito Santoni. All right. Well, it's burrito jams. We have to fold. All right. That's an interesting flop for us. Let's see. So that's a flop that really benefits our range. And we are going to apply pressure as a result with a big bet on this flop. There is concern, you know, like, I mean, listen, he's facing big. So if he has like 10-8, 10-9, that's going to be a tough continue for him. But as played, when he calls a big, we block no straights, block nothing. So we're going to shut this one down, I think. I'm going to shut this one down. I mean, maybe, I mean, really, yeah, we don't have any showdown value. I don't think he has king high or queen high. Maybe queen 9, queen 8. Oh, just in time. I was thinking maybe we hit a 6 too. Thank you, Caitlin Blount. All right, now we get it in. Period. Burrito Santori. If he goes all in and has king queen, what do you want for my life? Snapping rivers. Oh, he's betting small? Well, that's not going to work. Well, we know what we're doing, but we're going to tank a little bit for balance. He's like, fuck me. So if he's value betting, like ace or better, it's hard to fold. Hard for me to be bluffing here, though, right? It's hard to find bluffs that I could have. And I could have some. I'm trying to think of what they would be. That's what he's thinking. Not a ton. All right, good fold. Yeah, that's a weird one. When I bet flop, big, check back turn, and jam river, not a lot of bluffs there, I guess. It's pretty tough to be bluffing. All right, this is one we could call off against Jay Anderson if he jams in the big. We'll look anybody else up who decides to 3-bet us, for sure. Burrito can jam, Jay Anderson can jam. We're happy with either. Happy to call, I mean. Well, that's a spot. Let's see. So this guy's been just 3-betting 14%. He's been 3-betting a lot. 3-betting a lot. All right, let's roll it and see. Okay, I rolled a flat, so let's do that. Shit, we never hit this ace queen. Well, I shouldn't be bitching. I'm doing really well, but seems like this ace queen has been suited too. Been whiffing. No back doors. Nope. This is a problem. I don't think we can continue. I think we have to fold here. There's just not a lot of good that can happen on that turn for us. Wow. Hold the phone. Let's see now. He checked, huh? I think I'm going to check and fold anyway. If he's delay c-bet bluffing, that's fine. We're just going to have to fold. We still do beat some hands, though, that check back. He might have ace-jack, king-queen, king-jack suited, some shit like that. There's the king now. That's a good card for him, for his range, because he has ace-king, I don't. So he could have ace-king. He could have king-queen. He could have king-jack suited, right? Outside of that, I mean, I think we beat most of it. What do we beat? He has like ace fucking 9 suited, ace jack suited, queen jack suited. Fucking 7-8 suited, and now he's betting big. We block king, queen of hearts. We block ace, king. What the fuck is this? What is this now? He has to bet this king. So let's see. 11 to 127. 11 to 127. In this spot, I have all my kings, 10. I have pocket pairs. Dun, 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 dun. So he's gonna have to show us a king or heir. We block ace king, we block king queen. He doesn't have pocket fours, pocket. I have to call. Fuck, I have to call. Fuck, he has the ace king. Nice hand. All right. Nice hand. Makes sense. At least we didn't get in pre-flop. Whee! But you understand the logic, right? With ace queen, that's a better hand to call with than like a pair. So let's say, for example, on the 10-6-5, let's say I had pocket fours, for example. It'd be better to call with my hand, ace queen, than it is pocket fours. Because if he's bluffing, ace queen wins and so does pocket fours. It's the same hand, right? Except my ace queen specifically prevents him from having all the ace king combos and the king queen suited. Or just king queen off too if he decides to 3-bet that. Good thing we didn't 4-bet that ace queen suited. Yeah. Sometimes you call. Again, we're trying to be balanced. I don't want to overfold in that spot. So, all right, I'm going to 3-bet this one, I think. Oh, no, never mind. What am I talking about? Fucking all against these shorties. King 10. Ah. We're going to do something. That's for sure. Something we're going to do. We're going to make it. We're folding, actually, if he jams. If he jams, he's going to be fucking so strong right here. It's just going to be the aces. Pocket 10s, whatever. So 3.8 to win 2.5. I'll take it. Thank you very much. So that's a really interesting spot. When people limp on a short stack, it is solver approved. There is some limping strategies that make sense. It's usually pretty polar. So it's either going to be like a limp jam or a limp fold. He's not going to do a lot of limp calling there. Ace 8 suited. Interesting. He's only got 12 bigs. So let's go to... All right, we're essentially committing ourselves against Anderson and we're folding to a Rodrigo. So if Rodrigo can move in, we can fold. Here we just have to call, you know, obviously we're not putting in 5.6 to fold for 7 more. He's in the cutoff. Should be opening pretty wide. Ace 8 suited is too good to fold, so let's see. Let's see. 7s, all right, flip it. Oh, well, we flopped the fucking ace, but he flopped the set. All right. Oh, aces and 8s. Oh, nice hand. Nice hand. Aces and 8s. Well, that was unfortunate, but still, average is now 49 bigs. We're getting there. We're at 66. We had a little bit of a hiccup here, calling the 11 bigs with the ace queen, which I would do again. Yeah, it's just a hand I have to defend with. And then here with the ace 8 suited against the cutoff. It's on 12 bigs or whatever he had. Sure. Fine. I would tell you if I think I made a mistake. All right, ace queen for 2.4 it is. All right, we'd have to play against the 20-25 big blind stacks with ace queen. Oscar Brown. He's on the... No, he's not. Oh, he's 3-betting from here? What is this fucking shit? What is that? That is goofy and goofy, goofy, goofy. Well, we're certainly not folding. Okay. You really want to do it, buddy? We're going to do it. So if he jams here, we fold. This is really, really strange. 3-bet from the big blind versus under the gun raise. We have a good, this is actually a really good 4-bet bluff hand, right? Obviously, if he moves in, we're going to give him credit for aces, kings, queens, ace, king. Sometimes maybe jacks, and if so, well, fuck, we fucked up on a flip. But against that range, send it. That was a weird one. That was strange that he just missed min-click. I don't know, maybe he made a mistake. Oscar Brown, getting goofy with the small freaking... So just so you guys know, in the chat, if you are asking me questions and stuff, I'm probably not going to see them because I'm trying to pay attention here. I'm going to go ahead and bet small, bet the minimum, which is actually 1/3 pot, right, or even more, because that's the minimum you can bet. All right, that's a bad card for me. Not the worst. I mean, we're probably fine, but it's certainly a card I check back. It favors his range when he check calls, so we'll just check this back, and then we'll pay off a river bet. Or bet ourselves. If he check raises river, oh, he bets half pot. All right, let's see it. Very nice. Okay. So like I said, the queen was a bad card. We did not lose much. We lost half pot. If he checked, I was going to bet exactly the same amount, half pot. So we got through the period of deep stack. We did so quite well. Now it's more like regular tournament poker with short stack play, some more pre-flop all-ins. We're no longer in the position where we can see flops. It's like, you see the progression. If you've been here since hand one, it becomes less and less fun as far as I'm concerned, because these are hands when you're 200 big blinds deep, 300 big blinds with an ante, you can call. But now it's like, you know, they're just the implied odds are not quite there. 2.4. Actually, I should have come with the 2.2 now. I think we're at that 2.2 stage. Yep, we are. It's all right, though. It's okay. It's okay. But we will be coming with the 2.2 now. Okay, sweet. I don't know that it mattered. That's generally what we do, is we start with 2.5 when we're deep, and then we go down to 2.4 as stacks get between 50 and 100. And now under 50, probably just going to open for 2.2. And then you could probably get to 2 to min raises as well, very late. There's 2.2 from Pusha T. We're going to defend here. The Jack 8. And again, the difference between this and the King Jack and the small blind is we close the action. And we're getting, look, there's, wow, 6, 7, 8. Like, we're getting like 9 to 1, you know? Must call. Flop a straight. Flop a jack. That's dangerous. Dangereux. Now let's have a 7 or an 8 on the turn. If it goes bet raise, we fold. If someone bets a flop, someone raises, you're gonna throw the jack with the bad kicker away. If it's just one bet and a couple calls, then we would call. That's a good sign so far. Pusha T's checking to the button. Ludovic, Gaelic. We could do shenanigans here, but probably just check call, depending on the size. Okay, so 40%. We could be beat. He could be betting. Yeah, got a call. I mean, he's got a bunch of hands that, like, you know, if he has a jack, he's definitely got a jack better than jack 8. If Pusha T plays after a bet and a call, we can just fold because he's not going to be overcome. All right, there's the 7. It's kind of a good card for us. It's a tough situation now. Pocket 6s are reasonable. Pocket 4s, Jack 10, Jack Queen, Jack 8. All right, this is thin. I think we'd use a blocker bet here. Repping the... oh, shit, do we? What bluffs do we have here? None. Never mind. He's just not going to call a blocker bet with worse, I don't think. And he's not going to go bonkers with a fucking king jack now. Okay, give me the money, please. Phew! All right, so he was blocking queen jack of diamonds and jack 10 of diamonds, so he went and bet. Phew. All right, so yeah, the issue there with the blocking bet, we were going to do it, and then I realized, wait a minute. When you block there, when it's jack 6-4 and we check called, we never bluff. We can't be bluffing. We can be betting. We can be like value betting different parts of our range, like a 4, a 6, 3 sevens, a straight, a jack. But what bluff is there on jack 6-4 when the 7 comes? There's just no hand that, we're going to just fold this one. There's no hand in the deck. If I block bet that river where he's going to be like, oh, maybe ace high is good. No. So what would you be block betting for? You're block betting because you're afraid to check and have him bet because you don't know what you're going to do, right? So that's not a good reason to block bet. A good reason to block bet, there's multiple, but that one isn't one. All right, kings against jacks. Hope that makes sense to you guys because it's kind of an important situation. 10-8 off against these stacks. We are going to fold, ladies and gentlemen. Not going to open against 15s with 10-8 off. If you're opening 10-8 off, again, you do your own thing, you play your way. But then you'll just, if you're opening that wide, you allow these guys to just print by moving in on you. You know what I mean? Like if you open all those hands, these guys can just, any 2 cards, 7 deuce offsuit, go all in. And they're actually profiting in the long run. A, because you're going to fold a lot. You're going to fold way too often. And B, even when you do call, they're going to still win the pot, 30-something%. But Michael Bennett, why would you want to stop a bluff? You don't want to stop a bluff. If your opponent's going to bluff, that's plus EV for you. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. That's not a good reason to do a blocker bet. A blocker bet is for thin value in spots where there is value. It's also a spot where you're using it to induce, where you have nutted hands, and you know your opponent probably won't call it. Your opponent's either going to like raise bluff or fold, right? But it's not, you don't use a blocker bet because you're like, oh my God, I'm so scared if I check and he bets, I don't know what to do. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That should not be the reasoning behind it. Don't do that, right? If you check and he bets big, all right, call when you're supposed to call, fold when you're supposed to fold. That's it. If you do that bet for that reason, then against good players, they're just going to raise you way all the time because they know that your blocker bet is because you're scared, right? So don't use that as your logic behind why you make a blocker bet. Over at the Rio, in preparation, this is going to be an open for 2.2 because we have kings. And this is could be a good spot where we get a lot of people jam with little itty-bitty stacks, 14, 18, 16. Even the 40s might pre-bet. All right, that's good. No matter what, we are calling. Say good luck to him. Okay. All right, we are now 93%. Bingo, bango, bingo. Kings hold. Everything's going just right today. All right, what do we have here? King 6. All right, let's see. All right, we're going to go bet small here. We don't always bet this flop, right? It's a fine hand to slow play and just take two cards because you're not $474 or $474,000. Excuse me, I thought it was 400 for promo king. Yeah, the king 6, 7, 7. Like when you have a king, you're not really protecting against a lot. You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying by that? Like if it comes king deuce deuce, for example, and you have a king, what are you really worried about? Your opponent outdrawing you with an ace. That's 3 outs. What if he's got pocket 5s? That's 2 outs. When you have a situation where you have the guy or the guy in a hurt locker, you don't always have to bet there. The issue is on a king 7, 7. I'm going to bet a lot with nothing, right? Jack 10, whatever. So I have to bet with something too sometimes. Again, notice that the conversation always comes back to a little bit of balance where, in each spot, we want to be credible as saying, all right, well, Daniel could have a good hand or Daniel could have a bad hand. What you want to avoid in poker is you want to avoid situations where your opponent knows you can only have a bluff or you can only have a good hand. When you're in that spot, you're in jail and your opponents can crush you. So you always want to keep people off on their toes by saying, all right, well, you know, Daniel could have a king here, he could have a 7, he could have nothing, right? One of the ways I crushed in the early 2000s was people just, they played their hands correctly, right? But they were not balanced. So, for example, they raise before the flop, and the flop is 8-3 deuce. They bet the flop with ace king, ace queen, aces, kings, queens, right? With like overpairs, and ace king, ace queen. They bet the flop, whatever, with the bluffs, whatever. Then if somebody calls on the turn, right? If they bet again, they no longer have ace king or ace queen because they would only do that with overpairs. So this is like, that's a simplistic version, right? So against that kind of player, you know how easy it is to beat that guy? 8-3 deuce, always call. Call with any 2 cards, right? Then the turn card comes. If they check, you bet, you win. If they bet, you fold. Unless you can beat it, in which case you hammer them. It was so easy. Man, poker was so simple. Could exploit the hell out of those weaknesses, right? So think about that in your own game. You know, think about how there's certain spots, you know, where you say things like, I would never do that. Okay, well, do your opponents know that? Do your opponents know you never do that there? Well, that makes it tough for you to ever get called then if you go all in there. You know what I mean? Wow, awkward. 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 Awkward stack sizes, 21, 24. Holy shit. Oh my gosh. But again, it's tough to play on a 9-9-5. We would have had the old straight flush draw on the paired board. Don't put the 6 of clubs up. I'll be sick to my stomach. All right, so now we have 8 high. And again, because we're in the small blind here, it's very difficult to represent much. We're representing like what, a 9? That's it. Anything we would go crazy with on a 9-9-5 would have to be specifically like 9-10, Jack 9, 8-9, and oh, we would have made the straight. Such is life. Awkward spot, out of position in the small blind with those stack sizes. Obviously, if we were deeper and that's early on, that 8-7 suited is getting 3-bet a lot. Or at least flat it, like I'm never folding it. Maybe Bellarmino has pocket 5s or 9s. That would be sick, right? And we're just like, oh, wow, look at that. Full house. Show it. Oh, baby. Oh, no, 6s and 5s. Wow, value bet. I thought he turned over full house, and I was like, ooh, sweet. We wouldn't have won. Well, I guess we would have. Well, now we would have to call, but someone else will re-raise. But if they don't, one more chip, we have to call. Any 2, basically. We're getting 4.5 to 1, and we don't have to call any bets on the flop, turn, and river, so we will realize the equity. The question you have to ask yourself, are we 4.5 to 1 dog against his range? No. No. Not even close. All right, so we got a 3-bet there from Lottie Laro. Lotto Larry. It's a small one, but it's fine. It's enough. All right, against under the gun with the queen 10 suited. Man, you want to play, don't you? But let's see. But we're going to fold this one. Man, queen 10 suited. Remember, like first couple levels, we'd be like excited about that hand. And then, as the average stack dips, so does the playability of a lot of hands. Notice our VPIP, which was up there at like 38%, 37, is down to 30. Told you it would come back to about the norm, between 28 and 32. Queen jack of spades, black. Okay, we got jacks this time. I'll play this one. I mean, what are you gonna do, right? Pick up jacks, you gotta play them. So a limp there on the button from Bellarmino should be pretty polarized too. We do not want to hear him say jam. That could be aces. But we're not going to fold the fucking jacks, which... Scary stuff, right? Maybe we should fucking fold the jacks, actually. The jams. I don't think so. No. Oh, there's the ace. Alright, so let's see. What are we doing here? I'm going to check the flop one time. And we're going to check call if he bets. He could have an ace. Just because he limped the button doesn't mean he doesn't have aces in there. But so could we and play it this way. We don't always just bet an ace. So against, like, you know, what he's going to bet? 3, 3.5, 4, we'll call. All right, there's the queen now. And we're going to check again. I'm not really worried about the queen at all. Not a whole bunch of queen that he has. He's got, I think we have the best hand. I'm not worried about the queen. The problem with the jacks that I have is I block, well, now I block the jack 10, so that's good. Let's see here. We're going to just check 3 times and call a bet. 100% calling this river. 100%. He can have king 7 suiteds, king 10s. You can have... All right, well, for half pot, let's see it. Ha! King 10s. What did I say he could have? Fucking on today, boys. Oh, man. Well, we're on today. We are on today, ladies and gentlemen.